Welcome to Swish and Flick, an all Potter podcast.
Swish and flick. Everyone? Swish and flick.
Hello and welcome to episode 45 of Swish and Flick. I'm Tiffany.
I'm Megan.
I'm Katie.
I'm Sarah.
This episode is sponsored by Rachel Lacer.
I think.
Yeah.
Yes? Okay.
Thank you, Rachel.
Yes, thank you. Today we will be discussing chapter 3 of Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Azkaban.
bow. Thank you.
The Night Bus. So make sure that you have read the chapter and you're ready to backstroke in the pool of details. Before we begin, Megan has our social media needs.
I also really quick want to say the Night Bus. I love this chapter because I love the Night Bus. Mm-hmm. And did anybody else back in the day, whenever books were coming out, they had like the Night Bus travel to local libraries, and you got to like go on it.
I remember that.
I did that with you.
Yeah, it was only a double-decker bus, but it was like wrapped to look like a triple-decker. But it was so cool and so fun. And if anybody knows what I'm talking about, or did it, or saw it, and has pictures, make sure you post them in our group this week.
Did you do it?
Yeah.
I lived in a small town. We had no libraries.
It was the
I wasn't allowed to do anything fun when I was a kid.
We had one library.
We had one communal book that everybody read.
No bookstore. And it wasn't my turn for a long time.
I feel like it was when the fifth or sixth book came out because we were in high
It
school.
has to be, yeah.
I don't remember that at all.
It was cute. So anyway, social
I didn't go to high
media.
school.
Most everything about us and our podcast can be found on www.swishflickcast.com.
Rewriting this as she goes.
I am, yeah.
So
make sure
www. Like I haven't heard that in a long time.
Whoa.
swishflickcast.com. You can find bios about us. You can find our merchandise, links to our Patreon, Instagram, Twitter, Facebook, everything directly on our website.
Our episodes too, right?
And our episodes. Yes, we have a blog. Right now, we've only posted our episodes, but I hope to post like our thoughts on things too sometimes, and that's going to be totally random. It's just going to be when we have time and we write stuff, but it'll all be on our blog.
When we have time.
When we have time. Yeah, I know.
Yeah, I'm going to have no time.
But if you don't want to go to our website, you can also just find us on Facebook at Swish and Flick Podcast, or on Twitter and Instagram at Swish Flick Cast. And you can also subscribe to us on YouTube, where all of our podcasts are posted and vlogs are as well. Join us on Patreon, lastly, for exclusive access to our bi-monthly bonus episodes called the Felix Files. You can have a chance to be a guest on the Felix Files with our character analysis that we're doing right now. We're breaking down each character of the books. Like we want to do all of them. So we're going to have a guest for each character. So that could be multiple episodes per character. So you can be a guest on that. You can join us for our live video chat monthly on Zoom. There's monthly giveaways and lots more chit chats, like live podcasts as well occasionally. Mm-hmm. So
that's true.
Head on over to patreon.com/swishflickcast and choose your support level. And shout out and huge thank you to all of our current patrons. Because you make it all possible. And we love you.
We've been having a lot of fun with our patrons lately.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, we have.
It's been good times. Good times.
So, weekly profit news. I found an article that came out just a couple days ago on Teen Vogue.
Teen Vogue?
Yes.
Whoa.
Okay.
They've been having some good articles lately.
Have they?
Yeah.
Do you read Teen Vogue?
They post a lot of good stuff. Seriously. But
I mean, you do you, boo.
But they
We would be remiss if we didn't talk about it.
Oh
remiss?
my!
Oh, got
gosh.
it.
That.
You're welcome.
Oh, I'm sorry. Pause. Well done, ma'am. Well done.
So they posted an article titled J.K. Rowling said one Harry Potter chapter nearly finished her. Any guesses what book it's from?
Oh, I just read it.
This one.
It's not this one.
Then why are we
7?
talking about it?
No, not 7.
6.
5.
Nope.
4.
Yep. 4.
Oh, Cedric. Who's
Nope.
that? Your boyfriend.
It's not.
gotta
It's
say it
not
with a
Cedric's
mouthful.
death.
Wow.
Who's that your boyfriend? Gotta let your lips get a little loose.
It's not your boyfriend.
You're gonna choke on your gum.
I am.
So, okay, book 4, chapter
8.
Stop.
That was close.
I'm trying to think of. That was close to chapter 8. tell it to me because
Chapter 9.
it's been
I mean, I think I'm secretly a witch.
Called The Dark Mark.
so secret.
How funny! Dark mark.
Yeah, we're very dark marked out today.
I have a dark mark. in my
Dark
hair.
marked out.
Dark markers.
So she said the conversation began when JK shared that her writing productivity had been slow, tweeting, "Upon rereading, the best I can say about today's writing is that I got my second best Tetris score."
Yeah, I read that.
And a fan responded that they were struggling with rewrites and asked for advice. And she responded with some generous wisdom, saying, "Chapter 9, Goblet of Fire, nearly finished me. I rewrote it more times than I can now remember. You'll get there." She said the chapter she referred to in her tweet is from Harry Potter and the Goblet of Fire, called The Dark Mark. It's a very action-packed chapter that follows Harry, Hermione, and the Weasleys when they go to the Quidditch World Cup. In the midst of their revelry after Ireland wins the match, Death Eaters attack the campsite and the Muggles who live there. It's Harry's first glimpse into what the Wizarding War was like, which is a pretty major plot point, so it's no surprise that the chapter took extra work to perfect.
I was thinking that it would have been something like that because when you
It's a
read
huge
that
plot
chapter
point.
and they've hoisted the Muggles up,
Yeah.
and it's terror. It's literal terror.
That's got to be
Like,
hard to imagine
when
and
they
then put it into
describe,
words.
like the shrieks and
Yeah.
screams.
yeah,
I get it.
That's a terrifying chapter.
So I wonder if she does she mean by saying it gave her the most trouble? Was she trying to get it where she thought it was right?
It
Yes.
says here, she added that perfection shouldn't be the goal because it's simply not possible. A good lesson for anyone, writers or not. She wrote in response to a fan who called her work flawless that the series was created certainly not flawlessly, but I did it. Never wait in expectation of perfection or you'll wait forever.
I love her.
Do the best you can with what you've got and be one of those who dared rather than those who merely dream.
I love that.
Love her.
I will say, I don't know if I agree that her work is flawless.
It's definitely not
She
flawless.
said it's not.
But she
I know.
admits that.
Yeah.
I'm just saying that.
Well, people, she's queen,
I mean,
so
Yeah.
people say that.
She is
However-
like queen author of our age,
Yeah.
you know, like
No, she's an amazing human being, and I freaking love her.
If
Yeah.
you look up perfection and then go one notch down, that's
that's
JK Rowling.
JK. So I just
man.
I loved that article, and I thought that
Yeah.
was interesting that out of all of the chapters in Harry Potter she could have picked, it was one in the middle of the fourth book.
Yeah.
And as
So-
someone who has started like 2 of my own books, I haven't touched them in years because it's so anxiety written for me. And I don't have anxiety, but when I go to like read those,
You just want it to be so good.
It's tough. It's tough to write a book.
Well, and you know, I'm assuming I shouldn't say that. I know for me, I am my own worst critic.
Oh yeah.
For me.
Yes,
So,
I
like-
think everybody is.
Yeah,
you
that's
know?
what I'm saying. Like and like she said, and I always say this, like there's no such thing as perfection. Like that's
There's
not a
not.
thing. It's not attainable.
Don't try to get it.
But that's also the beauty in everything.
Yeah.
Yes.
Because without, if
She
her
has
book
such
was
good
perfect, like
messages.
how would we talk about it? Like how could we?
How could we dissect it and find loopholes and everything? Because we have, and it's fine. Like sometimes the answer simply is just,
Yeah.
well, it was needed for the plot.
Yeah, that's how J.K. wanted it to be. Like,
And
Yeah.
you know, you can't. I mean, in fiction, you can't have. I mean, it's almost nearly impossible
Well,
to have
and-
everything be perfect. You know, especially
It wouldn't be good.
with something like this. The Wizarding world is so huge.
I will say hers
Happens.
comes pretty dang close.
pretty close,
Like,
but it's not perfect.
You don't.
Like
I
she
don't know.
said.
I think that you, at least in my mind, like I wouldn't want it to be perfect anyways because, again, that's the beauty in it. Like there's so
Where
many,
would theories come from if it was perfect?
and like
Right.
it's not. It helps. It helps that it's realistic-ish. You know, that it's like real life in some aspects where he does come from like a not good family and all that stuff, and like she's
Yeah.
not perfect and the world's not perfect, and I just love it. so
her
much.
world was definitely not perfect
Yeah.
when she started these books.
and it
so-
helps us relate. I think.
Yeah.
It's just so great.
Okay.
She's just cool.
Are you looking at me for some reason?
Yeah.
I am.
Oh, what time is it, Katie?
I don't know. What time is it, Tiffany?
It's time for the recap.
Oh my
That's
gosh.
the way to that. Harry gets the worst birthday present of his life. A week with Aunt Marge. But if he behaves, Uncle Vernon will sign his permission form to get into Hogsmeade. He made it all the way into the last night before he lost control of his magic and blew Aunt Marge up like a balloon. Oops.
Oopsie daisy.
All right. So Harry has left the building and doesn't know where to go. His knight in purple shining armor arrives in the shape of a bus. We learn about the escape from Azkaban, or as Tiffany likes to call it, Owlzkaban, and are taken to the Leaky Cauldron.
That's in London.
That's in London. I literally have that written.
They're great.
Harry learns his fate after his blow up with Aunt Marge.
Oh.
Oh no.
You're just getting so good.
There's so many things I'd like to say, but I won't. 'cause
Okay.
We're recording.
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right. No editing today. So.
No, sir.
Not today. It is Sunday.
No post on Sundays. It's not Sunday.
It's gonna be when this comes out.
Oh, got it. Not for our patrons.
I was
then
gonna
it's
be floated
Saturday.
So by now, Harry has gone several streets away, and he's on Magnolia Crescent Street, and he's still filled with anger from his experience with Aunt Marge.
Just like she's full of hot air.
Rightfully so. Rightfully so. She was a nasty piece of work.
Do you think that she is filled with helium? Like, because she's floating?
She did float.
Or is it just magical air that makes you float? Magical
But he could have
magical
created.
air.
He
Rage
could
air.
have like the charm or whatever he accidentally cast could have just created helium inside her.
Full of farts.
Ugh.
But do
See how
farts
gross
float?
that would smell.
Marge farts.
Marge farts. Do farts float? Magical farts.
I think your dog farted. It smells.
Speaking of.
Don't judge him.
I'm not judging him. I'm just stating a fact.
It's okay.
That should be the title of the episode. Do farts float?
Done. Type it.
I just was curious in my little brain.
No, I mean, it's got to be something that's float, so...
I mean, again, it's just...
It's magic.
I love magic.
I do love my...
I love magic.
So, he's feeling anger. Anger?
Anger.
All right. And so 10 minutes pass, and he's now feeling more panicked than he is angry. He's stranded. He's alone. He's in the dark muggle world. He has nowhere to go, and he has done some serious magic, and he was...
He's just a small town boy. Living in a lonely world.
We should have been in a muggle world.
In a dark muggle world.
Got no place to go.
He'd done some serious magic.
That's where we
He
ended.
did a big no.
And he would for sure be expelled for what he'd done.
Thank you, Fozzie, for interrupting.
He was
that.
wondering what would happen to him. And then there's some more problems.
I just have to
Herm
say-
and Ron are both abroad. He had no muggle money.
That you're no Bev.
I mean, I'm not writing the lyrics. Tiffany did. So
Anyways, he was sure that he was going to be expelled for what he had done.
I mean, come on, that was good.
I liked it.
Was it? And he was wondering what was going to happen to him. And then,
You're just repeating what I said.
I know, you shouldn't have read my part. And then there were some more problems that he was thinking of. Herm and Ron were both abroad. He had no muggle money, and he had very little wizard gold on him. So he knew that he had to start making a plan.
He had to go to Gringotts.
So he thought that he would bewitch the trunk to be feather light, tie it to his broom, and then cover himself with the cloak. Also, like, who's not going to freak out when they see a floating
Trunk.
and a
Maybe
broom?
he's thinking
But I think
it'll cover
yeah.
everything.
That's in my imagine that it would cover everything.
Is he going to
'Cause I
sit
think
on
it's
top of the trunk?
I think it's
Yeah.
a cloak for like a grown person, and he is not.
Yeah, but it's not going to
true.
fit over a trunk and him and a broom.
Okay, A, dark, because it's night. B, muggles don't know nothing, do they? They
don't see nothing.
Whatever. You know what I mean?
I guess. I don't know. It just seems a little silly.
Hey, he's thinking.
He's trying.
Hashtag he's a Ravenclaw.
Anyway, so while he's looking for his cloak in his trunk, he couldn't help but feel like someone was watching him. And he sensed it. And so in the black alleyway, he looked and he lit his wand. And he saw a hulking outline of something very big with gleaming eyes. This sight startles him so much that he steps backwards, trips over his trunk, his wand flies, lands in the gutter, and there's a bang and a blinding light, and as if by some kind of magic, there appears a triple-decker, violently purple bus with gold lettering spelling out the night bus. The bus is chivalrous. I don't think in my years of reading I really thought of like knight as like they help people.
Oh my god.
Are you just
Did you not think
realizing
of that
this?
either?
Nope.
Oh, yeah, I never.
Sorry, that was a really loud laugh.
No, I just really was like,
Oh.
oh, okay, the night bus, whatever.
Oh, I totally got the connection.
No, I did not. They help
They're
the
like
stranded
knights in shining
witch
purple
or
armor.
wizard.
Which is why I said that at the beginning of this episode.
Yeah. So there's that. So if you're like the three turds down here, you wouldn't have gotten that either. So
What you fall over for?
the conductor in a purple uniform steps out and he says, welcome to the night bus, emergency transport for the stranded witch or wizard. Just stick out your wand hand, step aboard, and we can take you anywhere you want to go. My name is Stan Shunpike, and I will be your conductor this eve. And then he stops because he's looking at Harry, and Harry's on the ground. What you fall over for? I love the way that she writes exactly how she intends you to hear them speaking.
Yes.
Especially with Hagrid.
Yes.
I love the way that Stan is written. So we meet Stan Shunpike. He's about 18 or 19 at the most, with large ears and a few pimples. And so if you pull up Stan Shunpike on Pottermore, it says...
Night bus conductor turned Death Eater.
Originally the conductor on the night bus, but he was later suspected of being involved in Death Eater activity.
He was imperious.
Birthday, 1974. Skills, conducting the night bus. Hobbies, chatting up Vila.
Get out. Are you serious?
No, I'm not kidding. It's not there. So I just thought that was pretty great.
Stan.
So, yeah. I don't know. There's just little snippets basically from Prisoner of Azkaban, and they have like a picture of the interior of what the night bus would look like. It's very homey, very cozy, as much of the wizarding world I think feels cozy.
Does it say anything about having a fire? I know that's like a weird thing to think of, having a fire on a bus.
There are
But
candles.
I just would like think that they would have a fireplace in my head.
I like that.
Yeah.
Because everywhere you go, including like Professor Trelawney's room, and it's always hot, including in the summertime, has a roaring fire.
Yeah.
How cool would it be if you could flew from the night bus? If they had a fireplace.
It's weird. It's a weird thought.
But then what would be the point of the night
Yeah,
bus?
I agree.
I don't know, just to do it.
So it
I guess it
says
is true.
An extract from Half-Blood Prince. Stanley Shunpike, conductor of the popular wizarding conveyance The Night Bus, has been arrested on suspicion of Death Eater activity. So later on, we see his character pulled up again.
And Harry super defends him the whole time that that's going on.
Was he
Based on
imperious?
pretty much just this experience
Yeah.
with Stan.
Yeah.
Was he imperious or whatever the word is?
Yas.
Yeah. So an Arthur Weasley quote is, it doesn't say what book this is from. I know Dumbledore's tried appealing directly to Scrimgeour about Stan. I mean, anybody who has actually interviewed him agrees that he's about as much of a Death Eater as this Satsuma. What's a Satsuma?
I don't know.
The internet is telling me that satsumas are either a citrus fruit or a genus of land snails. There's also a province, except that's not what it says. It's also a province in Japan.
A Providence.
I can't read. We already know
Rhode
this.
Island.
But I don't know if that's what it's talking about, but that's just what the internet is telling me.
I don't know the context.
And, you know, the
and
internet's
what they're
always
talking
right.
about, you know, maybe we can find out
Yeah.
later on.
Correct.
I don't know. So that's kind of like all they have on Stan, and we can dive into his character a little bit deeper when we get to, when we get to 7.
Yeah.
So I'm going to save that and moving on. So Harry's fallen over, right? And so he checks back for the hulky creature and he doesn't see it again. And so the
This
conversation...
part, like, okay, so knowing that that's serious now, I'm sorry. Knowing that that's serious now and that he just like wanted to get a closer look at Harry just like makes me so sad.
I think I'm going to cry a lot doing this reread. Like, legitimately.
when don't
Yeah.
you cry?
I was
Because like at the end of
Yeah,
of
you
this
did.
book, But that wasn't about Prisoner of Azkaban. That was just about my mama. But doing... I forgot where I'm at. Okay. Knowing the end of the book, whenever Sirius is like, oh, you know, like when I saw you out in Magnolia Crescent or whatever, like it makes me so sad. He just wanted to like see his godson.
There are several times in this book when I was doing a reread when he has scenes with Lupin and like something happens and he's like, he had like a strange look or he had this, and I was just like, what's going through his head? And it makes me want to like squeeze the life out of him to give him a
The one that
giant cuddle.
sticks out in my head is like he makes a motion as if to like grab his shoulder to like
Yes.
console him, but
He's
he
like,
doesn't
oh,
know
Harry
that
doesn't
relationship that he
know.
could have had with them, which is really
Yeah.
sad.
God, it's like it's just heart wrenching.
Yup.
Why do you do it?
Why, Joe?
Dear
Why?
Joe.
To get you in the field.
Dear Joe, why?
That's our first Dear Joe tweet. It's just one letter. Why?
Or it could be the whole word.
No, just why?
Why?
So the conversation that he has with Stan gets really personal, like really fast. He spots the scar on Harry's head, so Harry automatically tries to flatten it because he doesn't want to be easily found by the Ministry. Like
on the
he's
run.
already like on the run, right? He's got that mindset, which is interesting because Sirius is on the run, Harry's on the run. Oh, twinsies, hello. Harry says that his name is Neville Longbottom. And we find out that the night bus can travel anywhere on land, but nothing in water. Why not? Don't we have magic?
Yeah, but like, how weird would that be?
I don't know. It's magic. Everything's weird.
True.
I want the night submarine.
Also be purple.
I was gonna say, instead of the yellow submarine, it'd be the purple submarine.
We all live in a
The
purple,
submarine. The purple submarine.
It is 7 sickles to get to London, 14 to get you there with hot chocolate, and 15 gets you a hot water bottle and a toothbrush, the color of your choice.
Do they have purple?
Says color of your choice.
Yeah. I
Could
would
you
choose
ask
purple.
for like aquamarine?
Yeah, what if you wanted like vomit blue?
Wait, what?
vomit Gatorade.
What are you throwing up? That's blue.
Drink some
You're
antifreeze.
Your Ravenclaw. She's so Ravenclaw, she pukes blue.
Or like, what if you wanted it to be like purple with pink sparkles?
I'm sure they can make anything you want.
Things to think about.
Okay.
I also, can I only get hot chocolate? I can't drink it because it gives me migraines. Can I get a coffee or a tea?
I don't know. You'd have to take it up with Stan.
I don't know. These are Dear Stan.
Dear Stan, can I get a hot? I don't want hot chocolate. Can I get a hot tea?
Can I get a hot tea?
Coffee?
A coffee. The night bus has no seats, but it has about a half a dozen brass beds, curtained windows, candles, and wood-paneled walls. We find out that Ernie Prang is the driver of the bus, and he sits in an armchair.
I love Ernie in the movies. He's so good.
So, speaking of Ernie in the movies, pour one out for him because he's dead.
Oh,
Did he pass away? When was that? Was that a long time
I
ago?
think, yeah.
He was pretty old.
take it away in.
Yeah, take it away, Ern.
It's going to be a bumpy ride. Boop, boop.
Like I don't mind all those little additions.
Yeah.
Just
Actually,
for a more fun experience.
J.K. Rowling said she really loved the Shrunken Heads.
Yeah.
She thought it was cool.
Well, that whole scene,
They did it really well.
they did do it really well with the bus like squeezing in between the other buses, and because that's like, I mean, that is not said, but stuff does jump out of the way of the night bus.
Why the long faces?
Hey, guys.
His name was Jimmy Gardner, and he died May 3rd, 2010.
2010. Wow.
Jeez.
It's been just 8 years. Oh, he was also in the Royal Air Force.
There you go.
Cool.
Yeah.
Ernie Prang is an elderly wizard, and he was wearing very thick glasses.
Like, seriously, they did him so well.
They really did.
They're like Coke bottle glasses.
And they do
Yeah.
say, "Take her away, Ern," in the book, so that was pretty cool.
Every time you say seriously, I literally think of serious.
Did I say seriously?
She did.
Oh.
Megan did.
Seriously.
And it makes me want to have another pun.
It's going to be this whole book.
The whole rest of the series. We're seriously getting
Until
deep.
Order of the Phoenix.
Well, he's still talked about.
I know.
God, pour it all out for him.
Egg.
Sorry.
That was seriously wrong.
It was.
Yeah, but I can't use the same joke. It'd be like, we would remiss if we didn't talk about it.
We would
be remiss.
So Harry asks, how come the muggles don't hear the bus? And Stan says, them don't listen properly, do they? Don't look properly either. Never notice nothing. They don't. I love it. So someone named Madame Marsh is on the bus, and it's about her stop. So we read that the bus is pretty much crazy. Things jump out of the way of it. And I said, so magical. And then when I read the name Madame Marsh, I was like, oh my gosh, that just reminds me of Quidditch Marsh.
Yeah.
I don't know.
What's that line in that
And
song?
then I looked it up to
remember.
see if there was any connection, and there's not.
Sad.
Isn't the marsh? Was that a person? The Quidditch marsh?
No, but I
Marsh?
but I
It's where
couldn't.
Quidditch matches started.
I know that.
I
but, like,
couldn't
marsh.
remember who the old witch was that used to watch them out there, and I thought that would be really cool if it was her, and it's totally not. So I tried, guys. She was motion sick. She was green, and at her stop, Stan threw her stuff out after her. And I said,
Stan?
rude.
I think he probably does it a lot.
He didn't do it with Harry.
toss
so
it.
just saying.
I think.
Harry Potter effect.
It is. So the bus seemed to be jumping about 100 miles at a time, and I say for true, and I probably think that is for true.
Was it real time life?
100?
Real time life. I know. I was waiting for you. And then
Sorry.
You didn't. I didn't start it though, so my bad.
It's your fault.
And then Harry sees the deranged-looking man from the Muggle News.
Muggles.
In the paper, not actually in real life.
Yeah. On the
Yep,
paper.
and the Daily Prophet.
That would have escalated this
or
plot
the
a lot.
Evening Prophet.
The evening, which publishing 2 papers a day. Did you get that much news?
It's a lot.
Yeah.
I guess when there's a
Rita has
convict
lot of
on the
things
loose.
to say.
Maybe.
So I wanted to read the Prophet article, which I need to find, but it's coming. Here it is. Okay.
Jesus.
So, Harry held the paper up to the candlelight and read, Black still at large. Sirius Black, possibly the most infamous prisoner ever to be held in Owlzkaban Fortress, is still eluding capture, the Ministry of Magic confirmed today. We are doing all we can to recapture Black, said the Minister of Magic, Cornelius Fudge, this morning, and we beg the magical community to remain calm. to remain calm. Fudge has been criticized by some members of the International Federation of Warlocks for informing the Muggle Prime Minister of the crisis. Well, really, I had to, don't you know, said an irritable Fudge. Black is mad. He's a danger to anyone who crosses him, magic or Muggle. I have the Prime Minister's assurance that he will not breathe a word of Black's true identity to anyone. And let's face it, who'd believe him if he did? While Muggles have been told that Black is carrying a gun, a kind of metal wand that Muggles use to kill each other, the magical community lives in fear of a massacre like that of 12 years ago when Black murdered 13 people with a single one?
What?
Curse.
Okay.
I will appease you. I was like, what are you waiting for?
So Harry learns a little bit about who Sirius is, according to the wizarding community right now, at least.
Yep.
Harry says that Sirius looks like a vampire. At least that's what Harry imagines a vampire would look like. Like he's got waxy white skin. And Stan says, scary looking thing, isn't he? So we know that he killed 13 people, or rather, Pettigrew killed 13 people. Jerk.
What?
Harry then
Killer.
slips the
Whoa.
V
Dang.
word.
Who's Pettigrew?
What?
We'll find
You
out.
just ruined this for me. I'm never
book
speaking to
done.
you again.
Harry
Stop recording.
Harry slips out the V word, aka Voldemort.
I was like the V word.
Wait, what did you call him?
The V word.
Lord V.
Lord V.
Lord V.
See, I just think of Vader.
And Stan and Ern immediately are like, what is wrong with you?
Even Stan's pimples went white.
You out of your tree?
it say that?
Stan, you say his name for?
Tuesday.
Sorry, I forgot. Blimey, my art's going that fast.
His art.
So they are claiming that Sirius was very close to you-know-who. And when little Harry Potter got the better of you-know-who, all of you-know-who's supporters were tracked down. Most of them knew that it was all over, and they came quiet, but not serious. He thought he'd be second in command once you-know-who had taken over. So Black got cornered in the middle of a street full of muggles, took out his wand and blasted half the street apart. And a wizard got it, and so did a dozen muggles that got in the way.
Who do you think came up with this story?
What?
It's just a fly.
Jeez, don't do that.
I'm sure that it was like the Ministry.
Came up
It
with
was
what?
Death Eaters.
Came up with what?
They had a very easy out. Think about Malfoy coming up with that.
Like pinning it on Sirius.
Like pinning the whole thing? What do you mean? Like the
So like
accident?
this story of Sirius being like second in command and everything, Death Eaters know that that's not
Oh,
true.
yeah, for sure. Because he's already there. Like,
So
he
it was
already
a
looks like he killed all those people.
It was a super easy out for them.
Yeah.
So I bet
Like,
that they
they're
like
gonna think
pushed
they've
that
got
story
the second.
Yeah.
and kept
Yeah.
building it. I think the Death Eaters totally,
Yeah.
either created it or helped it along. The
And
ones
they-
that said that they were
Imperious.
imperious or whatever,
Right.
Because they would be the ones that could see who was there, right? Or do you remember when you're imperious?
I'm not sure.
I'm not
But
positive
like,
about
would it
that.
be? I feel like you would lose time like Ginny did.
Kind of like a fog.
Yeah.
And just
That makes
wake
sense.
up and have
That's how I look
rooster
into
guts
it.
all over
Yeah.
you.
Like if you drink too much and you black out.
Well, Harry,
You do things,
though,
you just
when
don't really
Harry was
remember.
imperious in the Defense Against the Dark Arts classroom, he did remember everything. He remembered fighting against it.
That's true.
But maybe he remembers it because he was fighting.
Maybe.
It's a
At
fair
any
question.
rate, I do think that Death Eaters
It would
have-
be an out for them.
Yeah.
Oh, they would have used it to their advantage for sure.
Yeah.
So then Stan is like, you want to know what Black did then? He laughed. He just stood there and laughed. And when reinforcements from the Ministry got there, he went with them quiet as anything, still laughing.
So can I lightning bolt right now?
No.
So we know obviously that Sirius went in with the intent to kill Wormtail, and did indeed laugh. Do you think why do you think he laughed? Do you think he laughed because like this is my
think it was
life
shock.
right now, and I can't believe this is happening? Like
Yes.
it's just a total mental breakdown.
I think it's one of those things. I'm the person, like, I laugh
Yes,
at
you are.
everything. I laugh when I'm happy. I laugh when I'm sad. I laugh when I'm anxious. I laugh when I
She
don't
laughs
even
at
get the
the
joke.
worst times to laugh, but that's
But
just
literally.
that's just your reaction.
So that's what I'm saying. I
Yeah.
think for him, it's his friends are dead.
Yeah.
He realizes, like, because you hear later, he's like, I killed them. So, like, he tells Harry, he's like, no, it was me. It was my
Thinks it
fault.
was
He
his
blames
fault, yeah.
himself.
He realizes that the only one of his friends who isn't dead yet isn't even going to know him anymore because Pettigrew just turned
And-
this whole thing on
And
him.
is going to think that Sirius
a murderer.
was
And
the
they're
traitor.
Almost
And
like,
the
what
yeah.
else can you do but laugh? Like, one of those.
I think that it was
and
one
not,
of
not in
those,
not in one of like a ha ha ha, this is so funny way,
like-
but that's how it's
like
coming out.
a
Like, that's how it
laugh,
happens with
oh my
me.
God, this is happening.
Like,
That's
that
kinda
happens
Also,
all the
like,
time.
I mean, Peter, who I'm sure James and Sirius viewed as lesser than them because he wasn't a very strong wizard, at least that's what appeared in school, did such a genius hoodwink on these people.
Yeah.
I mean, just he has to be astounded.
I think that it was a laugh of, him being astounded. Like,
Yeah.
I
Just
can't
flabbergasted.
believe.
Yeah.
First of all, I can't believe that he got away from me. And second, I can't believe that this is now going to be all my fault.
That's exactly what I was going to say. I think he was also like standing there realizing, yet it just like all these people are dead. This is going to be pinned on me. And I didn't even get to kill the guy I wanted to kill. He got away.
Yeah.
And who's going to believe me if I tell them different?
Obviously, no one.
And I think at this point too, he's like, he already knows he gave the kid to Hagrid, right? And as much as in a whole different world, like he could have Harry and raise him and all that stuff, I don't think it would have even worked out that well anyways, unfortunately. And it didn't.
I think he's
but,
thinking about that too.
but I think he's like, I already know I'm not going to get him. He's
Yeah.
like, so all of my friends are dead. The one's not going to talk to me because he thinks I killed them because like, he knows.
Nothing to lose.
Exactly. So, like, I'm either going to die or I'm going to go to Azkaban. And, like, that's
Which
the biggest
is-
reason why he hadn't killed he doesn't kill Peter at all. He's like, because it's my only way for the truth to be out. Because at the end of the day, you can't bring James and Lily back, and he can't get those 12 years back with Harry or with Remus, but he could just be like, this is what it is, and this is what happened, and he needs his friends to know, like...
I wonder if he got a trial at all and like
No.
what happened with
I
the
think
trial.
no, because they're witnesses, and I
there were
think
so
you know
many
how we
drafts.
say the Wizarding world can be very backward in some things. I think they probably were just like, nah, bye.
I know this is, like, going way far into the book, but, like...
When do we not?
No, like, this specific
this
book.
one.
I try not to do it just because, like, I mean, we all know what happens.
'Cause we're
but
gonna talk about it
At the
again.
very end, when the stuff starts coming out, how quickly Lupin was like, he gets in there, he sees him, and he's like, wait. And then quickly he's like, it wasn't him. Like, it wasn't you, it was him. And he, like, immediately, like, his mind worked so fast. And, like, oh,
Because my boy's smart.
it just makes
He
me want
is.
to cry my little eyes out. He did his waiting 12 years of it, and he was like, he wasn't my friend for 12 years. Like,
Thank you.
Gut-wrenching.
It's true. It's a sad story. We should also get Remus's story. From
I don't know if I can read it.
From the
I have
ebook.
it.
And well, I have it too, but we should do some kind of episode on it.
So I can cry the whole time? Okay.
Yeah. So
All right.
That's going to be probably part of his character profile, don't you think?
yes.
Yeah.
Sad.
So how they covered this up was that they told all of the Muggles that it was a gas explosion, which
It's a good.
that's a
Excuse?
good cover up. I mean, that does. I feel like that would potentially kill that many people.
Is that what
and-
they said in Fantastic Beasts when all those houses
Yeah.
were blowing up from the Obscurus?
Yeah, that is
It's a
gas
common one in
explosion.
the Wizarding world.
I need to watch that movie again.
So then Stan says, and now he's out. And now he's out.
Eat out.
Said Stan, examining the newspaper picture of Black's gaunt face again. I like that she used the word gaunt to describe him because that also ends up being a very important last name. Never been a breakout from Azkaban before, as there, Ern. Beats me how he did it. Frightening, eh? Mind, I don't fancy his chances against them Azkaban guards, eh, Ern? The Azkaban guards give me the collywobbles, which makes me think of the name. No, it makes me think about how
Mollywobbles?
Mr. Weasley calls Molly Mollywobbles.
Mollywobbles.
It's like their little pet name.
They
together.
say it in 101 Dalmatians, though, right?
collywobbles.
Sorry, I'm
don't
just
know.
reading something that has to do with Harry Potter.
Do you
We'll
need
talk
to
about
say it
later.
right now? Talk about
No,
it later?
because it's in another episode.
Okay. All right.
Okay. So then he's like, so they're talking about how Sirius is going to Azkaban, and then Harry starts like drifting in his thoughts, like, oh my God, what is Stan gonna say about me tomorrow or something? Oh, Harry Potter on the run, blew up his aunt.
Yeah.
I'm like, you're not gonna go to Azkaban for blowing
He's like
up your aunt.
creating like a whole situation inside his head about
Yeah,
what's
it's
gonna
Story of my
funny.
life.
So then
Yeah.
finally they head to Diagon Alley and Charing Cross, and he officially meets the Prime Minister, or the Minister of Magic. Now, he does mention that he has seen the Prime Minister before. Gosh, I keep calling him the Prime Minister. The Minister of Magic before.
Yeah.
But he has to pretend like he doesn't know who he is. Because he was under the invisibility cloak. So it says here, standing in the doorway to the bus, Stan was goggling at the shadowy entrance to the leaky cauldron. There you are, Harry, said a voice. Before Harry could turn, he felt a hand on his shoulder. At the same time, Stan shouted, Blimey, Ern, come here, come here. Harry looked up at the owner of the hand on his shoulder and felt a bucket full of ice cascade into his stomach. I hate that feeling.
Ugh.
He'd walked right into Cornelius Fudge, the Minister of Magic himself. What'd you call Neville Minister? Stan asked. Neville, this is Harry Potter. So Fudge is like waiting there for him. I wonder if they were tracking him.
Trace.
Probably.
Yeah. So they knew that like that's where he was going to end up.
Yeah.
And yeah, then they head in with Tom and he gets some pot of tea to have their little conversation.
Do you think, because at the end of this chapter, Hedwig's already like waiting for him too, because she's like, oh, remind. Oh my God. She got here like 5 minutes after you. Do you think she can feel the trace or just knows where Harry is?
I think she just has a connection.
I
to
think,
Harry.
yeah, I think maybe part of their
like blood
magic.
brothers?
I think it's a type of
Connection.
imprinting.
Oh, that's so cute.
Oh, that is cute. I like here says it. They She describes Fudge here, a portly little man in a long pinstriped cloak, looking cold and exhausted. He's probably very worried about Harry.
Cold as in like cold-hearted, or cold as in like I need a
I
jacket
think
on?
temperature-wise.
Which doesn't make sense because it's July.
Dementos.
Oh, you know what? Maybe it is like he's looking kind of, not happy at the moment.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Could be.
A little
Do you think
cold.
he's mad
Well,
at
he
Harry?
should be
Yeah.
happy at the moment. He got Harry.
But he's mad that Harry was on the run. He was being irresponsible.
Well, Harry doesn't know this guy's after him.
Well, they like to keep things from Harry. Lots of people do around him, don't they?
Everybody.
That's none of my business.
Y'all shut it.
Dumbledore.
Don't you talk about my Dumble.
Door.
Accio Alley is a web shop where you can get original merch that celebrates Harry Potter and Fantastic Beasts. It's run by Hufflepuff Amanda, who designs each piece herself with input from her Ravenpuff daughter, Kylie. Everything is designed to be a fun, delightful way to celebrate the Wizarding World, and it's all at AccioAlley.com. We want to give a special shout out and thank you to Amanda and her daughter Kylie. They sent us some amazing merch. So you guys should definitely go to AccioAlley.com and check them out. Are we moving on to the yellow?
You would get a bell for yourself. Yes, we are moving to the yellow.
So Fudge marches Harry along into a small parlor in the Leaky Cauldron. And Tom, the landlord, he clicks his fingers and the fire bursts into life in the grate. And I wanted to comment on wandless magic here.
I also wrote that in my notes.
Good old Tom. Powerful wizard.
Do you think that these are just things that
Maybe like they're
I don't
they're
know.
just
if you got your wand on you, maybe
maybe it's he's has done it so many times and so long, like he's so used to it that it's
That
like
certain
without
thing?
thinking. Yeah, like certain
but not
things.
like any spell.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
Like certain ones like you do all
Practice.
the time. Like when you mindlessly like do your own tasks, you're like not even thinking because you do it every day.
Called
Like,
on
brush your
driving
teeth.
on autopilot.
Yeah, yeah. I wasn't gonna say it, but yeah, maybe it's one of those.
Okay, I
One
get
of
it.
those things.
So, as Meg said, so Fudge introduces himself, but of course Harry already knows who he is, but he can't let Fudge know that. So he just has to sit there and kind of pretend. So Tom brings them tea and crumpets. Has anyone had crumpets? Because I just had them for the
No.
first time not too long ago.
haven't.
and they're
I don't know.
super
if I
good.
have.
Oh my god.
What do you?
So good.
What
It's
is compare
like-
them to something?
It's
You
like
know-
a pancake that
Yeah.
you only cook on one side and the bubbles like stay on the
It's
other
fully
side, but they're
cooked.
cooked all the way.
It's kind of like an English muffin.
I want it.
It's good.
It's like an
do I
English
get it?
muffin
Can I
that's a
ask one
pancake.
Acme, the grocery store here in Ohio, sells them in the refrigerated section.
But like,
No, I want real ones.
do you
Well, then
think
make 'em.
I'll make some?
I'm not gonna make. Who are you talking to?
She doesn't know how to make anything but trouble. That's what we call her kid.
Make it double.
Double.
No,
No, she's going Pokemon.
Well,
My-
we're talking
You
about
listen
Harry
to
Potter
Box.
right
My
now.
question about the crumpets: do you think that they would be good even if Hagrid made them?
No. Sorry,
think they'd
Hagrid.
be
I love you.
rock
He
crumpets.
probably would. He probably
Thank
would
you,
burn them
crumpets.
because I think that you just like cook them like a pancake.
He
but
makes crappets.
just one side.
Okay.
Jokes.
Moving on before I have any more horrible puns. So Fudge says, well, Harry, you've had us all in a right flap, I don't mind telling you. Running away from your aunt and uncle's house like that, I started to think, but you're safe, and that's what matters. So he explains that 2 members of the accidental magic reversal squad had put Aunt Marge right again. So they punctured her. I'm going to bring this up again. I brought it up last episode. And modified her memory. What did they do? Did they
Farts.
literally pop her with something sharp? Or like, did they just like, I don't know, punctured?
Maybe it
It's a
would be
strong
like
word.
a little like pinprick, you know.
I still think like how they squeezed Violet.
Violet.
No,
No,
Violet.
Violet.
The one
All
that's
right,
Beauregard.
she was the bad nut in the newer one, and she was a rotten egg in the other one.
How annoying would it be to be in this like position on that squad? Like or it would be like way entertaining, like the
Yeah.
stuff that you
Yeah.
see.
I think it'd be funny.
Like does the biting tea kettle do that? Because I know Arthur dealt with that, like with the Muggle stuff, like. But that's, I guess, not accidental magic.
Yeah, that's
so do you think
misuse
they
of
mainly
Muggle
deal with
artifacts.
children?
Probably. Can you imagine like they go
Can you
home for
imagine?
dinner that night, like the
Now-
dinner talk?
Is that at the hospital or is that at the ministry where like where do you think they're going to get punctured?
I believe
they
it's
just
the
did it.
ministry.
I mean, do you think they did it like on scene though? Like
Probably.
a little.
Well, like, I'm
Probably.
thinking like if a kid has accidental magic incident, does he have to go to?
I bet you they
Probably
have
go
a
to
department
St.
at both.
Mungo's
That's what
to
I'm
get
saying.
checked out.
Yeah.
I think St. Mungo's. Where is St. Mungo's located?
in London.
It's in London.
Is it? But is it like near like the ministry or anything like that? Like, are they
don't know.
I know that it's like in the city. Like
like hidden? I
Yeah.
can't remember. It's been so long.
I'm pretty sure it's like in the city, and it like looks like it's like an abandoned shopping mall
Is
or
it
something
Greenwald
like that.
Place or something?
no,
not
it's
hidden.
not really quite
like
like
Hogwarts?
No,
Greenwald
it's like
Place.
a-
It
Like
looks,
with the Muggle like getaway.
it just
type
looks like a
stuff?
downtrodden business that went out.
Yeah.
and you like go in there, and it's a hospital.
I literally can't remember.
We'll get there.
Reading 4, 5, and 6 is gonna be like a whole new thing for me because
whole
it's been
new world.
so long.
Yeah, no,
Yeah.
I was thinking the same thing. I just didn't say it.
Because I've read 7 so much because 7 is my favorite and I love it. So I remember a lot more from 7 than I do those.
Yeah, these are the
those
ones I don't
middles.
think I've read as much, which is funny
True.
because the 5th one is my favorite book. He's just so sassy. I love that he's yelling at everyone. Makes my day.
I love that he's miserable.
Nothing's going right in your life and you're just mad. I love it.
You're a dark creature, Sarah.
That's why I had the dark mark on my hair.
Hey. Okay, Katie, go back to what
Fudge continues on and says Marge has no recollection of the incident, so that's that. No harm done. And he smiles at Harry over the rim of his teacup, rather like an uncle surveying his favorite nephew poo.
Okay.
I'm doing it.
He also says that Petunia and Vernon were extremely angry, but are willing to take him back next summer if he stays at Hogwarts for Christmas and Easter. And Harry's
always
like, I always do. I don't
That-
want to go back there.
That would make me mad too. Like, how dare you say if I stay back there, I don't want to go home with
Yeah.
you. Like, be quiet.
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
realistically, the only people that want Harry to go back there are the adults in his life. That
Exactly.
Are like, no, you
Right.
need to go back there. And he's like, I literally would live anywhere else. Give me a tent in the woods. And he does it.
He does.
Yeah. I'll live anywhere.
But Harry does say, he's like, I don't even want to go back there in the summer. And Fudge is like, I'm sure very, very deep down you guys like each other. I don't
He's like,
think so.
No.
So Harry's still waiting to hear what's going to happen to him, but Fudge just kind of like keeps going on. Like, all right, so all that's left is what are you going to do for the next 3 weeks of your vacation? And he even suggests taking a room at the Leaky Cauldron, which, oh my God, as a 13-year-old kid, I would love, as a 27-year-old adult, I would love to just spend 3 weeks at Diagon Alley.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
Well, this is like one of those times in Harry's life where he's probably at one of his happiest points. Like,
Yeah.
would you say he's living his best life?
No.
But truthfully, like, this is where he's happy. He gets to do what he wants. He gets to move around.
Free
Well,
Sundays.
not yet, because he still thinks he might get in trouble.
Oh, yeah. Hold
But
on.
in like 30 minutes.
In the next
Yeah.
chapter.
Well, yeah. Okay. But
But for sure.
I'm so happy for him that he gets this time.
Yeah.
He gets some freedom.
Yeah.
So Harry's like, hang on. What about my punishment? I broke wizarding law. I'm going to Owlzkaban.
I cannot stand you.
But Fudge, so very different from a couple books from now, is just like, oh, my dear boy, we're not going to punish you for a little thing like that. It was an accident. We don't send people to Owlzkaban just for blowing up their ants.
It's literally always and forever going to be Owlzkaban. Sorry.
I made a mistake.
So did Aunt Marge last chapter.
Oh, Katie.
All right. So Harry reminds the minister that just last year he got an official warning from the ministry just because a house elf used magic in his house. He smashed pudding in his uncle's house. And if they said if there's any more magic that he would be expelled. What? Magic? Our dude Fudge suddenly looks awkward and says, circumstances change, Harry. We have to take into account in the present climate, surely you don't want to be expelled. Well, duh. Harry doesn't want to be expelled. Are you dumb, Fudge? Fudge then goes to say, alrighty, Rue, let's get you a room.
I love that he says that.
Does it say that in the book?
Yeah, quote, direct
Alrighty,
quote.
Rue.
Alrighty,
Alrighty,
Rue.
Rue.
Let's get you a room. So it seems very fishy to Harry. Why was Fudge waiting for him if not to punish him for using magic? Isn't it unusual for the minister himself to get involved in the incident? Yeah.
In a little incident of underage magic.
Yeah. So Fudge comes back with Tom and gives Harry room 11, but he is also given another set of quote-unquote rules. Basically, don't go into Muggle London, bro, and keep to Diagon Alley. And we want you back in the, Leaky Cauldron / his room before dark. So Tom will be watching him, even though he's probably got a lot of other things on his plate. But, Harry is the chosen one.
Do you think he's getting paid?
Oh, they might be compensating him.
I think so.
Maybe.
He might be getting a little extra fudge on the side.
All right.
So Fudge, Harry's like, dude, why? And Fudge is like, bro, we can't lose you. You're the chosen one.
What is going on?
Fudge goes to leave, and Harry asks him if they had any luck with Black yet, making Fudge stumble with his silver fastenings on his cloak. But he tells Harry that it's just a matter of time that the guards will find him. They've never failed, and they're super angry.
Would you say they're demented
I would.
with anger?
Yeah. I would think that they're owl their minds.
At Owlzkaban. We'll see.
So Harry makes another attempt
I
to get
love
his
you.
permission slip signed again from Fudge, who better to get the permission slip signed, but the minister himself. Too bad Lockhart isn't on because we know he likes his name. Oh wait, he doesn't remember it though. So
Sad tweet.
of course he tells him no and reiterates that he's not his guardian and it's probably the best that he can't go. It's safer. So Tom and Harry go up to his room, which has a comfortable looking bed, some highly polished oak furniture, a crackling fire in June, and Hedwig.
Why not?
Well, I think it's probably chilly in there.
Could be. Very smart owl you got there, chuckled Tom. Arrived about 5 minutes after you did. And he's like, if there's anything you need, Mr. Potter, don't hesitate to ask.
Now, are we talking Tom book 1 or in the movie or Tom book 3?
Sounds like Tom book 1.
When he goes,
Yeah, I don't know.
I don't know what that was about.
That was pretty jazzed up.
Dear
Yeah.
Alfonso Cuarón.
that it was just all him.
Where do you get on?
And so I figured I'd read this.
Where did he come up with that? I mean,
what
the
I
only
can do.
other movie I can think of that he made is Little Princess, and like that movie's perfect.
Look
so
what I
why
can
did he
do.
have to do some weird stuff? Oh my god.
All
Tiffany's
right.
balancing her microphone on Bear Cub.
I'm going to read a bit from this book. That's Harry Potter and the Prisoner of Owlzkaban. So Harry sat on his bed for a long time, absent-mindedly stroking Hedwig. The sky outside the window was changing rapidly from deep velvety blue to cold steely gray, and then slowly to pink shot with gold. Harry could hardly...
There's a lot of colors. I lost track.
Harry could hardly believe that he'd only left Privet Drive a few hours ago, that he wasn't expelled, and that he was now facing 2 completely Dursley-free weeks.
I thought it was 3.
Well, this is what the book says. It's been a very weird night, Hedwig, he yawned.
2.
And without even removing his glasses, he slumped back into his pillows and fell asleep.
All that rage.
Good night.
He's exhausted.
Yeah.
Rage.
All right.
Lightning bolt. I already lightning bolted a couple.
Yeah.
What would you ask for on the night bus? Liquid wides or
I
not
mean,
liquid wide?
I'm cool with hot chocolate.
Am I taking an
Hot
Napski as a
chocolate.
long trip?
Yeah.
Water.
And then I'm not going to answer the question before I ask my other one.
I said hot chocolate.
Oh, did you?
Yeah.
Why is it a hot bottle of water? Like, what the hell do you do with that?
That's like for like your back or something like that.
Yeah, but like,
Yeah.
can I get a ice cold bottle of water so I
No,
can have
it's
it?
the Wizarding World.
I want to drink ice
No,
water.
it's not a
like a
drink.
bottle.
I know, but like, why? I know. Why?
It's like
I would love that being a
I
pregnant
wouldn't,
person.
Because when you're traveling, you're probably like sitting or laying and your
aching.
butt hurts.
maybe you're
yeah,
on your
yep,
maybe
yep.
you're on your period and you really need some warmth on your little tummy area that hurts.
That's true too.
Okay.
That feels good
How many sickles is
when you
that?
have the little crampies.
How many sickles is a crampy?
Too many to count.
For 9 sickles, we'll cure your crampies.
Let me think of some questions.
God, I am a stinking talent right now. I gotta take a picture of this.
Would you get sick on the night bus? Tiffany
Yeah.
would.
Tiffany definitely would.
I would barf projectile on the night bus. I think I've proved that with Forbidden Journey.
I don't know if I have any questions.
I don't know. If Sarah doesn't have any, I don't think anybody has any.
I'm just trying to think of what we read. Do you think you would dream about dogs?
Yes.
The Grimm?
I always dream about pooches.
No,
What's the grin? Not the grin, you idiot. The grin.
My
It's one of the darkest humans in our world.
She's said that.
That's like Sarah's
So
favorite
many times.
quote.
It's like trying to catch smoke. It's like trying to catch smoke with your bare hands. Black's been sighted. He's been sighted.
If you could go anywhere on the night bus, where would you go?
Does it have to be in England?
No.
The Leaky Cauldron. That's in London.
My parents' house.
I would ask to go underwater.
You can't.
You would die.
I just said I would ask.
Well, they would tell you no.
So it has to be on land, though. So if it's a night bus in America,
I'd go to Florida.
Asked to go to Disney World.
where would I want to go?
Take me to the Magic Kingdom.
I don't know. I'd see if they would take me on a road trip so I could see as many states as possible. Because I really want to see 30 states before I'm 30.
How many are you at?
18 or 19 or something.
All right.
Should we just go to the fan story?
Yeah.
I need super help though because I'm so bad with names.
Do you want me to try?
Yes, and I feel terrible, but I will butcher it. So Meg, please introduce.
Mahua Chakraborty.
I like that. We're gonna go with it. Please
That's my guess.
tell me if I'm incorrect.
Chakraborty.
Anyway, Potter story. I think my Potter story is a super unique one. When I was young, I was an avid video gamer. Me too. The only thing I really watched on TV was SpongeBob and Pokemon. Me too.
Literally, Katie.
And the only movie I ever watched was Matilda, practically on a loop. Me too.
love that movie.
This is crazy. I didn't read this before this, so. All other times, I was all about gaming. I had never even heard of Harry Potter until one day my uncle, or maybe my sister, I'm not sure, came to me one day with a new computer game. It was the Harry Potter and the Sorcerer's Stone PC game. I thought it looked a little childish, but I was intrigued and decided to give it a shot. My sister, who is 7 years older than me, that's weird. My little brother is 7 years younger than me. Anyway, was completely uninterested as it looked like a little kid's game, which could explain why she may have been the one who gave it to me as she was a gamer as well. I popped it into my PC and I was hooked. I absolutely loved the magic, the adventure, the characters, and the open world. I was already pretending to be a wizard until, wait, what? There's a Harry Potter movie? Wait, there's a book and there's 7? I was not a big reader, but I loved this game so much that I just delved into the series. My sister was a teenager at the time, but was mildly intrigued about what I'd become so obsessed about, and then I got her hooked too. I still remember how we shared a copy of the 6th book when it came out, and I was way ahead of her, and she freaked out when she saw me crying while reading it.
Aww.
The first 3 games, which are arguably the best games, are not digitally available on PC, and the discs are rare, but I really hope one day I can play them again. I have a secret dream of being a gaming YouTuber, but I will only do it if these games are out so I can share my nostalgic experience to the world. They are my childhood. This whole series is my childhood, and once again, I want to thank you all so much for lighting this powerful Potter fire in my heart. Another dream of mine is now to get to meet you guys and just talk Potter. I can't wait to keep listening to your podcast.
Aw, thanks.
Thank you. I like that story.
Yeah, that's definitely unique.
I haven't heard of anyone learning about Harry Potter through the game, so that's super cool.
Yeah.
Well, you should come to the Wizardly World of Kent this summer and meet us.
Yeah.
We'll talk Potter. July
Faux
28th,
show.
Kent, Ohio. Woo woo!
Whoop, whoop.
But I'm also glad that you got your sister involved too.
Yeah, that's awesome.
Spread that Potter love.
Yeesh. All right.
Tiffany, what are you up to?
Girl life.
Just growing some life. I am also on a couple of other podcasts. I am on Box Trick, all about video games, playing Pokemon,
Which our fan
Blue
story.
right now. Yeah.
We'll
So
probably enjoy.
if you don't listen to that, go listen to it now. I'm also on Rebel Watch, an all Star Wars podcast, and I'm watching the movies and kind of breaking them down like we break down these episodes. So it's pretty similar with like all the information.
Katie and myself have another podcast called Grown Up Kids, a Disney podcast where we talk about all of the Disney films in chronological order. We are currently still stuck in like the 40s and 50s, but we're chugging through. Can't wait to get to Cinderella. I just want to talk about Cindy.
We'll get there.
I know. So we're talking about the movies one by one. We do a similar, it's not quite this same setup, but like similar, where we break down certain like history facts, fun facts, character analysis of some of the main characters, and then we just talk about like our favorite, least favorite scenes, characters, etc.
Yep.
Yeah. So find us at Grown Up Kids Pod on Twitter and Instagram, or Grown Up Kids Podcast on Facebook. And we're on Podbean and all that good stuff. iTunes, Google Play.
Almost anywhere you can find a podcast.
What's a podcast?
I don't know.
Okay.
We also have an Etsy shop called Akio Designs. We have some cool Harry Potter stuff up there, like sweet posters you can hang up in your room, rep your house, rep some shops.
Some sweet posters, man.
We got some really cool posters.
Get them framed, put them in the walls. Butt ass posters.
And if anybody is dying for a Swish and Flick t-shirt, you can get one at swishflickcast.com.
That's true.
We have lots.
Now that's a super plug.
There's
Well,
also, you can get
Like a double plug.
That's
Some
like a
people
plug of the
might not
cape.
know. There's mugs, there's t-shirts, there's phone cases.
you can get a t-shirt
Stickers.
that says Florence is always here, which we all know is true.
I don't-
Everybody loves her.
I don't know who the listener is, but they tagged us on Instagram, and they were wearing the shirt that says our names. And someone goes, "Who's Tiffany?"
I don't know. I've never heard of
And
her.
I laughed so hard when I read that. Not any of the other girls, just who's Tiffany.
But like, I think that like Megan, Katie, and Sarah are very like common names.
Yeah.
Like, how many Sarahs do I know, or how many Sarahs do
1,000.
other people know that are around me? You know what I mean?
It just makes me laugh so hard. Like,
yeah.
who's Tiffany?
I think like you're the only Tiffany in my
She's
life.
no one,
Megan.
guys.
I think the name Megan's going to have a huge comeback because of Duchess Megan now.
Yeah.
I hope they spell it better, though.
Whoa! Shade.
The H is so unnecessary.
Meg
guys.
Han. It's like Han Solo.
Don't name your kid. Well, I shouldn't say that. I don't particularly care for my name, but again, because everybody has the name Sarah, I literally don't answer it when I'm around other Sarahs, so people have to call me O'Malley because I'm like,
Name your kid
you're
Harris.
not talking to me.
Yeah, name your child Haraz.
No,
Come on.
What about Yellow?
No.
Yellowmo?
What about Nah?
nah. No, I already have names I like.
What are you doing?
Yeah, what are you up to?
Currently, I'm living and breathing.
That's a good start.
I don't do anything. Trying to figure out what I want to do with my life. Look for a new place to live outside of Ohio. That's my goal.
OH.
Move far away.
I-O.
Thank you.
But you
Don't
can
let
find
the
me
state
at
kick you out.
O'Malley on Twitter, Instagram, and Facebook. Except I am on Facebook, but follow me. I do things. AKA, I slick to nap. But legitimately, I am trying to find like new work.
There you go.
But I'm on an all Harry Potter podcast called Swish and Flick. We're doing a reread. We're on Prisoner of Azkaban. So far, it's going great. I think there's going to be a lot of tears in this book because it's really emotional. So if you like to talk about Harry Potter, and I'm sure some of you do,
Stop talking.
listen to us.
Oh my god.
We're great.
Where can
The
you find
Ravenclaw's the
us?
best one.
I'm just kidding.
All right.
Support us and Florence at swishandflick.com.
I thought you were gonna be like,
That's
Swish.
correct.
Swishflickcast.com.
Y'all ready to eat?
Yes.
Let's go eat.
Yes.
So that concludes this week's episode. Thank you so much for listening, and don't let the muggles get you down.
Bye.
Amazing! Just my voice!
You guys don't want any of our outcuts from the past 30 minutes of our conversation.
Or like 45 minutes.
Yeah, it was a long time.
It was quite a while. All right.